On today's lesson, I am going to teach you adverbs of frequency. And so I have a list of adverbs that I am going to teach you about, as well as give you a few practice sentences that you can use when you are using these adverbs in communicating or describing time to other people. Now, as always, I'm going to have a quiz at the end of today's lesson. Again, I have a list of adverbs of frequency. So I'm going to run through this list, and I hope that you go back and watch it again so you can become more familiar with these words. So let's get into today's lesson. Always. Always. I always drink at least 2 bottles of water a day. Or you might say, I always put on my seatbelt. Or when I read, I always wear my glasses. Always. Usually. I usually get off work at about 5 o'clock. Or you might say, I usually go to bed before 2 a.m. Usually. Normally. I normally do not put salt on my food. I normally walk my dog every day before I go to sleep. Normally. Never is a great adverb of frequency because it describes something that you do not do. You don't break a standard. Never. So you might say, I never disrespect my elders. Or you may say, I never give a loaded weapon to a child. That's a good one. Hardly ever. I hardly ever eat cashews. So cashews are a nut here in the United States that's pretty popular. But for me personally, I hardly ever or never eat cashews because they make me sick. I hardly ever put toppings on my ice cream. So I usually eat my ice cream plain. But if I do put toppings on my ice cream, I hardly ever do it. Seldom. I seldomly go outside when it's dark. I would rather go outside when I can see. Seldom. Okay. I seldom, or let me say, my wife seldom or hardly ever rides a roller coaster. So seldom or hardly ever. Sometimes is another adverb of frequency that I use. Okay. I sometimes get quiet and don't want to talk to people. I sometimes ignore people because I am concentrating. Sometimes. Okay, here's our first pop quiz question for today. And it's a fill in the blank. You should blank make a promise you cannot keep. Oh, that's a good one. You should blank make a promise that you cannot keep. So from the list of adverbs that I have given in the first section, how would you answer this question or this fill in the blank? Make sure you put your answer down in the comments section. And by the way, I want to welcome everyone to today's lesson that is on the live stream. Let's go to the next section of adverbs for frequency. Yesterday. yesterday. I went to the store yesterday. I washed my car yesterday. We had school on yesterday. Often. I often make videos to help people learn and speak better English. I often use a pen more so than a pencil. Often. I take my wife out on dates often throughout the month. Weekly. Some people get paid weekly. Okay? Whether it be every Thursday or every Friday. Some people, depending on their pay schedule, get paid weekly. Daily. I would love to get paid daily. Every single day. And not just on payday. But some people get paid daily. Or I am thankful to wake up daily. I have good health every day or daily. I eat a lunch daily. Hourly. What is your hourly wage? Now, here in the United States, that's a great talking point. Each state has a different hourly wage. Here in Georgia, the hourly wage, let me look this up. Hourly wage, Georgia. Wow, Georgia's minimum wage is, no, this can't be right. This can't be right. This has got to be old because the minimum wage is, it can't be $5. Yeah, there it is. The minimum wage that people earn here in Georgia is $7.25. That's the minimum hourly wage. Now, I would love to know in your country or in your area, what is the minimum hourly wage? Okay, is it higher than $7.25 or is it lower than $7.25? Put that down in the comments section. Okay. Yearly. We file our taxes yearly, or you could say annually. It is common practice to get a physical yearly. So a physical is when people go to the doctor to get a checkup to make sure that their weight is proper, their cholesterol levels, their sugar, and they get a full body checkup to make sure that they are healthy. Okay. And that's usually done yearly. There is a maintenance checkup on your vehicle that must be done yearly. Okay. All right. Here's another pop quiz question for the second section of today's lesson. How would you complete this? I go see my accountant blank to file my taxes. I go to see my accountant blank to file my taxes. And so an accountant is someone who helps keep your finances in order, whether it be for your personal or your business. So how would you answer this fill in the blank question based upon the adverbs of frequency that I talked about in the second section? Quarterly. Quarterly. Many companies release their quarterly financial gains or losses. They do that quarterly. Every 4 months, quarterly. You might have to get your oil changed each quarter because you drive so far. Quarterly. So every 4 months. Nightly. Some people watch a game show nightly. Here in the United States, we have a game show called Family Feud, Jeopardy. These are game shows that come on nightly. I do not watch the nightly news. I don't do it. It's too much bad news. It's so negative. All they talk about, in my opinion, is what is wrong with society. And so I choose not to watch the nightly news. Later. I'll see you later. Call me later. I'm about to go to sleep, so don't bother me until much later. Now, I want something to drink right now. I am going to the store now. Leave me alone right now. Hit the like button right now. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe now. Okay. And our last adverb for frequency is today. Today, the temperature was 28 degrees. Or you may say, let's have lunch later today. It is too cold to wash the car today. So these are all adverbs of frequency that you can use when you have to describe time to someone else. So make sure you go back and practice these adverbs so you can become more familiar with them. Okay, here's our last pop quiz question. I told you to clean the car blank, and you did not. Go clean it blank. That's a good one. So it's two answers for this one. I told you to clean the car blank, and you did not. Go clean it blank. Let's see if you can get all of these correct today. Make sure you leave that down in the description. And I usually respond to all of the answers. All right, here's a final quiz today. Let's see if you can get this right. The flat tire blank by my cousin yesterday. The flat tire blank by my cousin yesterday. Solved, is solved. There's a typo. Was solved or would be solved. Make sure you leave your answer down in the comment section. Let's look at a comment from a recent subscriber, as I'm always appreciative of those who engage with me on the channel. So in one of my videos, I asked, was baseball popular in your country? And one of my loyal subscribers from Poland responded by saying, baseball isn't popular in Poland. In my country, we prefer to play soccer. And I responded with a thumbs up and said, I still haven't learned all the positions in soccer, but I do know the goalie position. Yeah, that's about all I know is the goalie and the referee. Now, the Atlanta United won the championship at the MLS here in, I believe that's what it is, in the United States a couple of years ago. So I was keeping up with them, but they haven't been as good since then. But I like soccer. I just don't know all of the positions in soccer, but it does get exciting when it is a close match. Thank you so much for watching today's lesson. Make sure, again, you practice these adverbs of frequency when you're studying your English. And I hope you join me on my next lesson. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed today's lesson, be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button. Also, enjoy these videos that will help you understand and speak better English. My name is Jay, and I hope you join me on my next lesson.